Hi Huns, and welcome back to my channel. This is the fourth time of me trying to record this video for this specific topic. The first time I formatted my SD card by accident. The second time I had lip gloss on my teeth and I only realised the day later. And the third time, which was approximately 1 hour ago, I had something in my teeth from dinner. So, wish me luck. Okay, so today's video is all about my favourite eye brushes. I will not only talk through each brush and why I like them and what they do and what I use them for, but I also will put a little demo so you can actually see each brush in action. So in today's video, when I talk through the brushes, they will basically be in the same order of how I do my eye makeup. So I start with my eyebrows always. For my eyebrows, I use this angled brush from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's number 15. I actually don't know why I looked at it because I definitely know it by heart now because I videoed this video many times. So this number 15 brush looks like this. Now it's tiny, I know the wand or the handle, whichever you want to call it, is really small. I love this brush because it just helps me and enables me to really control my eyebrow shaping when I use it. Of course, sometimes I use eyebrow pencils to do my eyebrows, but most of the time I use this brush. It's angled in a way that there's no slippage when you create your shape or when you fill in your eyebrows as well. It's quite tightly finished and I feel like that is what allows you to control the movement as well as the short wand. This is a travel size brush, and the other reason why I like this brush so much is because the angle of it is not really steep, and I think a steep angle is really good for winged eyeliner but not for shaping your eyebrow with. This next brush is an oval brush from NYX. It's really cheap. I think it was maybe about £6 and I've used it forever. I use it on all my clients. I use it on myself. I don't use any other brush. It looks like this. I use this brush for one thing and one thing only, to carve my eyebrows. Now, if you know me, you know I love my eyebrows in a really sharp shape, not messy, not bushy, not spiky. I really like them clean and sleek. Not that there's anything wrong with the other methods of doing your eyebrows, but just for me, none of them suit except for this one that you can see today. I take concealer and I literally put it underneath and above my eyebrow to create that sleek look. Do not use it on your eyelid to apply concealer with or an eyeshadow base with. It will hurt your eyeball. Just don't do it. Don't do it. However, this brush here, which is the Crown Oval Concealer Brush, I think it's BR10. Look who's come to say hello. Hello. Where have you been? Moody. Hello? Okay, so like I said, this brush is from Crown. It's the BR10 Oval Concealer Brush. I use this on my eyelid to apply concealer with as an eyeshadow base or a proper eyeshadow base such as P. Louise or the MAC Painterly one. The only other thing I use it with is to really sharpen up my winged eyeliner, or if I don't have a winged eyeliner, then I sharpen up my eyeshadow to create a snatched, you know, like the stretched look of your eyeshadow. That's basically it. And the reason why I really like this brush is because it's got a lot of movement in it and you can use it to carve your eyebrow. I just find it a tiny too fluffy. I just love it for applying the eyeshadow base or concealer for snatching your eyeshadow. So the next brush that I'm going to be talking about is the Morphe M173 brush. You've probably seen me use this brush many times before on my previous videos, but if you haven't and this is the first video of mine that you're watching, I use this brush to smooth out my concealer either after I've applied it with a beauty blender and I just feel like there's some cracks that need to be smoothed out, or I literally dab it into the concealer, go like that really quickly and off I go if I'm doing my makeup really quickly and I'm in a rush, or if I just can't be bothered to do much and I want to hide my circles. That's literally it. But I really recommend this brush because of how easy it is to apply the concealer with, and it's really soft, it's round and just flexible. I think we can say flexible, but yeah, I really recommend this brush. Next up is the Morphe M173 brush. Now this has been called a dupe for the MAC, I think it's the MAC 227, but I'm not sure, I've never had the MAC 227, but apparently this is a really good dupe for it if you don't want to spend the money. I feel it doesn't matter how much money you spend on a brush, as long as it keeps its shape and does the job that you want it to and is of good quality. It doesn't matter if it costs you £2 or 25 quid, it really doesn't matter. This brush is brilliant for putting on just one colour on the eyelid. It is also good for blending out, say, the eyelid and the crease together, as well as applying it on the eyelid and blending it into the crease, which you might have put beforehand. It's quite fluffy and the top is slightly longer than the sides, but only very slightly. It does two things in one, basically. So if you're the type of person that likes to do creative looks and bright looks, and you really like to pack on a colour, even if it's not a bright or creative look, if you like to have your eyelid or your crease full of a block colour, then this is the brush for you. This brush is the Morphe M456. I use it to pack on colour on my eyelid because it's the biggest part of the eye, and you wouldn't ever pack on a colour on your brow bone. I just use it to pack on a colour to make it really strong and not smooth or soft at all. I do have to maybe put 2 layers on, but no more than that, and you literally just dab on the eyelid. You'll see in the demo as well. It's really flat, but not as flat as the concealer brushes that I spoke about, but it's not as fluffy as the previous brush that I mentioned, which is the M433 by Morphe. It's quite thin on the sides, and the top is a bit longer than the sides, but not by much at all, which is why it's quite good for packing on the colour. Can I just also say that it's quite good for blending as well, but not blending if you're making a soft look. It's good for when you pack on the colour on the eyelid and then you blend it out into the crease. You can do it with this part, the edge right at the top, so the edge of it. You apply the colour with sort of the flat part of the brush, and with the top you blend. Now this is my all-time favourite brush that I use on everyone, on myself, every look. For years, it's probably one of my oldest brushes that I love. This is another crown brush, and it's I don't actually know. It's got no number on it because it's disappeared, it's worn out, and it's got no name either, but it's a blending brush. I will link it down below. Hopefully they'll still have it and you lot will be able to buy it. Okay, so to tell you the truth, I actually sometimes use this brush just to apply one colour with, but I mainly, and 90% of the time, use this brush for blending. It's incredible. I blend in the crease, I blend in the corner, in the inner corner. I honestly love this brush and it's amazing. You need to have one. What I love especially is the movement of this. It's not too tightly finished, so it's really flexible. Yeah, I've used flexible again. It's really flexible, easy to use. It doesn't hold the colour in the brush. It literally blends and blends and blends and blends. No, I'm being serious. This brush is honestly insane. This next brush is a Spectrum brush. It's the A12 brush. I also have had it for years. It's a little pencil brush. I literally use this brush to apply and blend eyeshadow on my bottom lash line. It's fluffy and really easy to use. There's a lot of movement with this brush and it just helps you apply and blend the eyeshadow really, really easily and smooth it out perfectly. Okay, so this brush is the Morphe M210. Now I use this brush to apply shimmer on my eyelid with, whether it's the whole eyelid or whether it's the inner corner, and whether I brush it on or I dab it on. This brush is perfect for that because it's quite a small oval. It's not really stretched out high and it's not really wide either, and there isn't much movement, but it's not as tightly finished as my concealer brushes, which means that the pickup of the eyeshadow or loose pigment, whichever one you use, is brilliant because nothing falls off it because it's not that fluffy. And when you pack it on, or even if you brush it on, because it's quite tightly finished, it just stays there. It doesn't, you know, fly away, or I can't think of the word, but it doesn't dust away like, you know, when you brush dust and stuff. It literally stays on. You'll see in the demo as well, because I'm finding it really hard to explain what I mean by this. Okay, so this brush is from Zoeva's Rose Gold collection. It's the 317. A lot of reviews have raved about this brush because it's sick. I use this to do my wing eyeliner with, and I honestly never understood why my winged eyeliner doesn't go as perfect as it should, even though I have tried with all what's in me. It still never did until I invested in this brush. I think it was about £12. I'll, as I said, link it below and you'll be able to buy it. But I use it with gel eyeliner and it just creates wonders. Cringe. It honestly makes your winged eyeliner so perfect. I did it today and you'll see on my Instagram page a better picture of this winged eyeliner. So the reason why I think this brush creates such a sharp, perfect winged eyeliner is because of how steep the angle is. So as you can see, it's quite high, the point goes quite high. I'll show you a comparison between this angled brush to my eyebrow brush. Can you see how this angle is a lot sharper than this Anastasia one, which means that yes, you can control it, but the outcome of the flick just works. And yeah, it does enable you to create a really, really, really good wing. So I highly recommend it if you're a wing lover, and I highly recommend this brush if you are struggling with creating a wing and your brush doesn't look like this. Maybe this is your answer. Okay, so only 2 brushes left, and this little brush, I'll just speak about it really, really quickly because it only really does one thing and it's pretty bloody small, so you can't really get much out of this brush. It's tiny. It's the Morphe 213. I only use this brush to smudge eyeliner with on the top lash line. And I also use it to apply eyeshadow with if I want it really thin and really close to my lash line. That is basically it. It's really easy, really straightforward, and it's tiny, and I actually think it was about £4 or £5. So finally, this is the last brush for today. It is a highlight brush that I absolutely love. I don't love it because of the actual brush. Yes, it's a great brush, but I purely love it because what it's used for. A highlighter. I think this is the MAC 219 or 210. I use this brush to highlight my brow bone right underneath my eyebrow, and I also use this brush to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. It's not a round pencil, it's a sharp pointy pencil brush, so it really allows me to get into the points that I need to, and it's really soft. So because it's soft, it has a lot of movement, and because it has a lot of movement, it allows me to really blend and smudge the highlight under my eyebrow so that it doesn't go a bit bitty, and it also doesn't hurt me when I use it in the inner corner of my eye. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around to the very end of my video. I will do a video of my favourite face brushes next week, so make sure you tune in for that. Any questions that you might have, comment down below, and make sure to hit subscribe down here. I literally don't know what corner, but in either corner. See you next week.